Hello, hello. Damn cat videos. You there,
Okay.
Judy? We're live.
Yeah, I'm
Two streams at
everywhere
once.
right now. Well, no, see, also, okay, I was needing to run to the store to go get a new keyboard because I spilt my tomato soup on mine.
Okay.
And so the mouse that I use goes with that keyboard, so I had it plugged in, right? The USB. But
Mhm.
my son's in there trying to clean that keyboard, and so it was making everything go crazy on my screen. So I had to unplug it. Now I'm mousing at the moment, using the touchpad on the like.
Are you good or do you need to go to the store?
Oh, no. I'm good. I'm fine.
Okay, cool.
I got
We're already live
one of
over here.
those spare
I
ones
was
for my.
late going live because we were looking at those cat videos.
Okay, let me see.
All right.
Hmm,
Shit. I gotta mute my tabs. There we go.
uh,
All right, guys. So I don't know where everybody else is. Everybody from the last stream will be coming over here in a minute. So I'm kind of just wasting time for them to get over here. Cats are cute. As a matter of fact, this is the one that's obsessed with me. As you can see her clinging to my leg. This is Valkyrie. She was born in my lap and is been obsessed with me ever since. Um, she must sleep on me. The dog is not allowed to touch me. She's a good girl, huh? Yeah. Yeah. We also have her mom. Her mom is actually my son's
okay.
cat. So, um,
All
she's
good.
so yeah, we're just kind of wasting a little bit of time. I got permission from Scott Rouse to cover content from both his channel and the behavior panel. I am a huge fan of the behavior panel. It's so much fun. Hey, Brick, you might like this content today. Um, so to give everybody an idea of who the behavior panel is,
Is this a
um,
continuation from earlier? We were watching earlier, and now you're doing more and
no,
then this.
I'm doing a whole stream from them.
Okay, got you. Cool.
Okay. And I've already picked out the one I'm gonna do. Um, and I'm super excited about it because, like I said, I'm like a massive fan of these guys. They are body language experts, behavior experts. Like um, they've written a shit ton of books combined. It's outrageous. Um,
I
so
remember whenever you got permission from them, you were freaking just
I couldn't believe I was emailing with Scott Rouse. Okay. So there's Scott Rouse, who, like I said, he's a body
oh my
language and behavior analysis expert. All of them are really. Um, Mark Bowden, he actually helps world leaders write their speeches and helps them practice their delivery to make sure that they sound confident and they sound sure and they don't do things that will kind of tell you and I, the audience, that maybe they're unsure of what they're saying or anything like that. Um, then you have Chase Hughes. Everybody knows the great Chase Hughes, and Greg Hartley. Both of them are former special ops. They did the grab and bags. Okay, they taught interrogation, resistance to interrogation, brainwashing techniques, resistance to brainwashing techniques, um, the whole shebang. And Chase Hughes has his own channel and he goes over all of this stuff. He picks it apart and teaches people all kinds of tricks and stuff. I'll make sure to get all their links in the description of this video before it's over. And then Greg Hartley, he's also former military, just like Chase Hughes. And he works on Wall Street, and he helps companies pretty much helps them bluff through deals and read the people that they're dealing with, and that kind of thing. And like I said, they've all written tons of books, um, and they've been featured on the Dr. Phil has brought them in multiple times to give analysis of people that he's had on his shows. And then yeah, they're really, really cool guys. I'm gonna drop their link in the chat. It's also in the description. At some point, I highly recommend subscribing to their channel. Their content is brilliant. They did multiple episodes on Diddy and people around Diddy, including people who claimed to be part of the unalivings of both Tupac and Biggie. And they read, they're telling the truth and potentially being deceptive. They've done all of the psychopaths, all of them, and it's
because the whole Puffy Biggie thing, and all that. I've been invested in that happened. So, yeah.
In their opinion, based on the videos that they've seen, they absolutely believe that P. Diddy was orchestrated those hits. They absolutely believe it based on
$1 million for
the evidence that they have had. And that's just from watching interviews with people that were supposedly part of that, like Keefe and P. Diddy's bodyguard and things like that. So
Orlando.
I like the psychopath episodes. Okay, I really like those. They're a little creepy, and at the same time, they give you a lot of the tools to how to read people that you're interacting with. And the more episodes you watch, the easier it is to pick up when somebody's doing something that maybe should be a red flag that you should be looking for.
Were any of them the focus of that show, The Bull?
I'm not sure.
It was the Bull, if I'm not mistaken. It's a TV show, and it's about some guy that does that. He reads people for attorneys and whatnot to measure.
I'm not sure.
Like jury pooling. He teaches them how to read the people.
I know that these guys have assisted with jury pools before and jury selections. They're also good friends with a gentleman who goes by the name of Spidey, who is a mentalist out in, I believe he's in Las Vegas.
That show too, The Mentalist.
And Spidey does a lot of like the magic tricks and stuff, but he's also very, very good on watching body language. And they're all great friends. They share the tips and the tricks, and they're friends with, the people who wrote the books on things. Like the Robert Hare psychopathy test, which if you think you might be a psychopath, highly recommend taking that test. I'll make sure the link's in the chat because it's actually really interesting. So I looked through real quick, and I decided we are gonna cover an episode on a woman named Belle Gibson. A little bit of backstory. Belle Gibson is a young woman who faked having cancer and told people that she had the cure for cancer. She took advantage of a family that had a child who was very, very ill with leukemia. And by being close with them, she mimicked their symptoms, formulated this healthy diet or some crazy bullshit, and sold it and conned a ridiculous number of people. And the behavior panel analyzed an interview with her that who was it that did it? Shoot, I can't think of the name of the woman who did the interview. I'm looking right now. It would be
Do they ever analyze that Gypsy girl?
yes,
Remember
they've done
okay.
Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy Rose. Okay.
They have done Gypsy Rose for sure. Um, do. I don't see where they say that. I can't remember the name of the interviewer, but she's a famous Australian journalist. Okay. And she does a phenomenal job interviewing Belle Gibson. And it's really, really good. You get to get a look at a con artist as they get tripped up repeatedly. And it's pretty brilliant. So I'm going to pull it up. Unlisted, nice to see you. Welcome over. And welcome to everybody from 10th Mans. Thanks for coming. We're just getting started. Hopefully you caught most of what I was saying. I will drop the link. Again, the link for the behavior panel will be in the description for this video, as well as I'll add links to the pages for the individual men that make up the behavior panel. These guys are really intelligent. Huge shout out again to Scott Rouse. Thank you so much for giving me permission to cover your content. Going forward in the future, I'll be covering a lot of his content. I want to find ways to work in a lot of the stuff that he's done as far as he does a lot of like psychology work and reading people and the way that they talk, the way that they move, things of that nature. So I'm going to be adding his work into my content quite a, do some of these midday hangouts and review some of it. So let's get started. If you want me to pause it all, just holler. As a matter of fact, hang on. Let me drop the link too, in case anybody from chat wants to come up, hang out, and be part of the feedback on this. Shit, that's right. For whatever reason, this is so funky. I have to make the screen full in order to do this. There we go. So if anybody wants to come up, I'll give it a minute here. Come on up. You're more than welcome to hang out with us and review this.
And in the meantime, donate to the lovely host of today's special show, Miss Beth Mayhew, Culture Corrections.
I'm running on no sleep, so I'm a little on the silly side. Everybody's gonna have to work with me here.
You still haven't been to bed from yesterday? Since last night?
No. I slept pretty late into yesterday, so it's not like I've been up for. I haven't even been up for a full 24 hours, barely 24 hours.
I haven't even been up for a full 24
Lippy,
hours.
Is that you?
I know.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
haven't
it.
quite hit delirium yet.
Oh, I'm good. Trust me. How you doing, Pero?
Pero.
Well, that's what my little Lippy channel is all about, right?
Is this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Behavior and analysis.
Behavior. Yeah, behavior and stuff. You guys have heard me say before that what you get on this metaverse is only 0.1% of reality. And that's because people are able to shed away their fears in regards to how they act. In other words, they're not so inhibited. They open up their real personalities on here as to the psychology of that person. But that's an underlying element where when you see them in real life, they don't act that way. Like this. When I wear this thing, people on this metaverse have no problem calling me Hitler or saying that I'm wearing a Hitler's mustache or this or that, but not once. And I wore this thing for over 2 years, and not once did anyone say a word about it in real life. On here, they are not inhibited. They let the reins go, and you can see a real psychology in there. That is an underlying element that we really need to start listening to. This is what most people, I believe, have lost is instincts and intuition. We've been so conditioned in this secular society in this pluralism, in this reality, in the dichotomy. It's so amazing how people are willing to let one little lie ride and build up into so many others. And then when they think about it, oh, I shouldn't have let that happen. Now it's too late. Now they can't unbury it. They have to keep it buried. Otherwise, they go down too.
Right.
This is to the honor and integrity of each individual. And that's why I say this metaverse, you only get 0.1% of reality. Because when you go out there in reality, it's much different than what you get on here.
10th man, is that you?
What up, Tim?
I'm guessing that's you. You flipped. Yeah, thank you, sir. That was pretty. You went so fast, I could barely see you. Yeah. On the same note, too, though, I think that is going to be dependent on like whether or not they're using their real names, right? Like, I did not intend to even ever be in this position, so I just logged in with my freaking Google account, and it threw up my real name, and I was like, I don't care. I'm never going to do that stuff. Now here I am, kind of screwed with it, right? I think that I'm more cautious in ways. The idea that this is me and everybody knows this is me, right? I might be a little quieter in person or a little, but I do consider my behavior before it comes out and my words before they come out for the most part. Until I'm like really tired and then I start getting silly. But you are right. I think that people, especially when they come on with a screen name that has no ties to who they really are, they really let loose. And all those secrets and demons and everything they wish they could say, now they can say it. Right.
Yeah, and I've always been on here with the premise that people, if they don't know me, they're gonna get to know me because that's what I want. I want people to get to know me. I want them to know that I'm not lying and that I don't want you to believe me. I want you to do your research so you know. And in that, if we have multiple people researching and one of us finds an error, it's inherent that we're supposed to let each other know. That's the base foundation of knowledge. Isn't the truth? It's the errors. This is feed a man for a day if you give him a fish. But if you teach him to fish, he learns how to feed himself for a lifetime. This is inherent in passing that lesson on so that your future generations don't keep making the same mistakes.
Correct. Are you familiar with the behavior panel or any of the gentlemen that are on this?
Yeah, Chase Hughes, and I'm actually sub to a behavioralist panel. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I watch them all the time.
Is it this guy Spidey?
No,
No.
let me see if I can pull it up.
Because I know Scott Rouse has another. He's got his own behavior channel, just like Chase does.
It's funny, this guy's name's Scott Rouse, and I'm drinking a drink from a grocery store down here on the Gulf called Rouse's Market.
He's from Nashville.
Oh, it's the only place you'll see that this Rouse's Market is down here on the Gulf Coast. I know they got him here in Alabama, Mississippi, I believe, and definitely Louisiana because it's a Louisiana company.
Gotcha.
And they might have some in Texas if it's on the Gulf.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting to see if
Professor Sam Vaknin's another one.
Okay, I haven't heard him. I watch a lot of Chase Hughes and Scott Rouse, and then the behavior panel for sure. Like this is one of my top favorite they don't do live streams. It's all pre-recorded content channels that there is. I've been watching these guys for years.
Psychology Exposed is another good one.
Haven't heard of that one either.
Damn, I can't find it.
That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and get this started so we can get moving. It's about an hour long, which means it'll take us at least 2.
Today we're going to talk about Belle Gibson. Greg, why don't you tell us about Belle and tell us about the videos you found?
Yeah, Belle Gibson is an Australian who faked cancer and who cured herself through Whole Foods and had an app for that and became quite the celebrity until she was discovered not to have cancer and that she had been lying the whole time. This interview is Tara, who is an interviewer for 60 Minutes, and she has her on the grid calling her to task for everything she lied about.
All right, let's take a look.
You go on Instagram in 2013. I have been healing a severe and malignant brain cancer for the past few years with natural medicine, Gerson therapy and foods. It's working for me.
It is.
Oh,
And
pause
if
for a
any of you
second.
didn't
Pause.
have brain cancer.
Oops.
No,
I
I
want to fight. I want to fight with Para.
tapped it
Para,
too many
why'd you
times.
fake cancer?
Oh,
Because it was all in my head, just like this woman.
I'm just fucking with you, bro. I heard about that nonsense. I'm like, oh my god, just shut up.
I know it's amazing, and
I
that's
just
why
don't know why
give-
anybody cares. Go talk to the government. Fucking leave people alone.
Well, and see, that's why I give the caveat to people. You really have to understand this is 0.1%. When people like Snafu come out like that, that's what majority of people want to begin with. So it embeds it in their mind that, yeah, he's grifting cancer because that's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear how he got $5,000 in donations and it saved his life. And then he says, well, that's not, I didn't want that. No. They mistake everything that a guy can say, no matter whether it's good or bad, and put it to their own drama panel, to their own schedule of what they want out of life. That's why I say you can't get anything but 0.1% out of this metaverse.
At least when I lie, I tell you I'm lying.
Yeah, even when I'm telling a lie, I'm telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? What was that? Scarface.
No, I'm saying when I'm fucking around, I'll be like, listen, this isn't true, but
yeah.
I'm just picking on you, buddy.
I know. I'm good for it.
Because you
though.
brought, I heard you bring it up as soon as I came up. I'm just fucking around. Go ahead, Beth.
all right. You're a good man.
didn't.
No.
But when I was writing that, I thought that I did, and I was feeling well.
Yes, but even then you misrepresented what you thought was your truth, which was all a big lie anyway.
I'm really sorry. And it hurts me, and I beat myself up every day for how I have hurt those who mean a lot to me.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, this woman is the bastard cousin to Jodi Arias. That's all she is. You're going to see her. She's rigid. She sits up. She's waiting for opportunity to plug in whatever it is that she perceives the person needs to get what she wants. And when it doesn't work, watch what happens to her. She starts off with that front of the mouth talking, that kind of placating the woman she's talking to. But we don't see any of that with Tara. We see disgust and disdain. And this is just the beginning of it. You'll see it flowing through. She raises one eyebrow when she's talking to her, but watch that whole stony-faced, eye blocking. And when she goes in with the kill and ask her about the lie, you see her face like, oh, here we go. Here's where we have it. I'll just leave it at that and say, Chase, what do you got?
So one thing I picked up on here was eye closure. And when during the conversation, her eyes shut. And we typically see this in people when we don't want to hear something. And we also see it a little more often when it's correlated with shame or regret based on the topic that's being discussed. And as a quick pro tip, when you're defending yourself, even if you're in court, which most of us are trial consultants, don't dress like ski resort Barbie. You want people to identify with you. Scott, what do you got?
All right. There's so many things in here people see and go, this means she's lying. This means she's lying. We know she's lying. So we're really not going to focus on things that tell you she's lying because we already know she is. And if you can't tell just by looking, I don't know what to say about that. Holy smokes! Anyway, you see that when she at the top where she does the head nod of agreement, it's like this little bobblehead thing. That's not because she's saying the opposite. When she's saying no, her head is saying yes. That's more of a confirmation nod. So what you're seeing there, it has nothing really to do with she's lying, but she's saying no, but she's saying yes. She's just confirming because she's trying. I think part of her believes what's going on, that she believes that's what's happening. So that's what that little micro bobblehead is about. And there she said, I was feeling, when she says, I was feeling, we see a little expression of disgust. It's just right there in her mouth. This goes up just a little bit. It's not quite a micro expression. It's kind of small, but it's still there, really big. This is a great example of somebody who is, for some reason, she's decided to do this interview and stay the whole time. So we're seeing somebody who is backed in a corner because there's no place for her to go because obviously she's lied. She knows the woman interviewing her knows she lied, and she's telling her she's lying, and she's agreeing she's lying as we go through this. So we're just seeing someone's brain defending this and try to go forward for their ego. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, so I'm really sorry. I beat myself up every day. What you'll see from Tara there is disdain. The corner of the mouth goes up. She doesn't like her at all. She sees her as socially outcast. She shouldn't be part of the group. Clearly displays it there. One thing I will say, Chase, about that ski resort Barbie look is it means that I can read her breathing really well. So take a look at that big polo neck there. You're going to see it going up and down. What I want you to do is breathe along with that and see how you feel, okay? Because we're going to come back to that polo neck a bit later on because her breathing is going to change enough so that you're going to have a different feeling. So look at that polo neck, breathe along with it, see how you feel. We'll come back to it later on. That's what I got on that one.
You go on Instagram in 2000.
Real quick before it goes on, how do you I personally like the way these guys break this stuff down and the little shit that they throw out there to tell you, you know, what to look at and what to look for. This chick, I don't like her at all. I didn't like her the first time I saw this episode. I think as women, I don't know if you agree with me, Tootie. There's something, sometimes some women have it where it's just like, it rubs you the wrong way from the start. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can just look at her and say, uh-huh. Like,
She reminds me of the, gosh darn it. What was it called? When they found the blood in her trunk, killed her kid. She got off.
Oh, Casey Anthony.
Yeah, that. You know what else I heard about I forgot.
They did Casey Anthony, by the way. They covered Casey Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Yeah.
So, do you know that allegedly, that other kid, the blonde one that did the beauty pageants, and they thought that her brother killed her?
John Bonet. They did hit her whole family as well. They covered her whole family too.
There's illusions allegedly that she never actually died, and it was an Epstein thing.
That would
be surprised.
That would I wouldn't be surprised now either.
That's what I heard.
Looking at it,
word on the street.
Looking at where everything came out, and I mean, because I don't think the cadaver dogs ever actually hit. The whole thing looks staged and just weird. Her poor brother.
Yeah. Just saying. I believe nothing that we see.
Yeah. Any comments to throw in, Pero?
I just I do a lot of paying attention to people's faces. I've always been a guy that I don't like going through drive-throughs. When I went to restaurants, I didn't like going through drive-through. I'd rather go inside so I could see somebody face to face. And so I've concentrated a lot on facial expressions and watched the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Know who else she reminds me of?
You can't see my eyebrows.
Real quick, an interesting thing. I learned this from these guys on a different episode. The origin of the salute was when knights would pass each other. They would raise the visors on their helmets to show their eyes and their eyebrows, because the eyebrows will tell people everything they need to know about if you are friendly or a foe. And so that was the whole point to the salute, was to raise it, show their eyes and their eyebrow, and give the acknowledgement that would indicate, I'm just passing by, not here to fight with you. Go ahead, 10th. Who else does she remind you of?
The one from that, what was that? I'll just tell you guys. What was the name of the documentary where the woman trolled her own daughter and daughter's boyfriend?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but we remember we were looking at my show last year. The reason is the only difference between this woman and that woman, this one has an English accent. They're almost exactly the same monster.
Oh, just wait till you hear the details of what she did, dude. It's like, whoa. And I gotta say, Tara, the interviewer from 60 Minutes, she is fucking brutal in this. This woman has got nerves of steel. The other really good interview they did the interview with R. Kelly when, what's her face? Who's the woman who interviewed R. Kelly? Older black woman.
Gail,
yes.
Gail, yeah.
Gail King has fucking nerves of steel. Like, woo!
Yeah, by the way, it's called High School Catfish.
High School Catfish. Yes. All right. You just gotta switch tabs. There we go.
2013. I have been healing a severe and malignant brain cancer for the past few years with natural medicine, Gerson therapy and foods. It's working for me.
It is. And if
you didn't have brain cancer.
No, I didn't.
No.
But when I was writing that, I thought that I did, and I was feeling well.
Yes, but even then you misrepresented what you thought was your truth, which was all a big lie. Anyway,
I'm really sorry.
Make lunch with me while I tell you all the things I do not do with
my money. For that
pop-up
blocker.
It didn't work. All right, we'll work on it again.
A lot of people for
We're working on the pop-up blocker,
and
guys.
It hurts me, and I beat myself up every day for how I have hurt those who mean a lot to me.
All right.
she says in 2009 she met a man called Mark Johns, who told her he was an immunologist and neurologist, though no record of him exists.
He had come to my home and went through a series of tests, and this was dubbed integrative medicine.
So he comes to your home and he does some tests on you?
He does.
What sort of tests?
It was a box, a machine with lights on the front, and that machine was apparently German technology. There's two pads,
like
two metal pads, one that goes
shit.
below the chair and one that goes behind your back, and then that measures what I believe or remember to be frequencies.
This story about this fucking German technology fucking kills me every time I hear it. Some strange man knocks on her door, makes her sit on a pad with electrodes, and tells her she's dying of brain cancer. And she believes that. I don't believe no man fucking showed up and did that to begin with. She's
I'm
so
curious
full of
as to
shit.
what German technology actually looks like.
Yeah, she
I mean, okay.
drives it some, but it's so fucking outlandish. And like the idea that it's German technology, so that gives it some kind of authority or higher status. It's like, oh God, girl.
Does she have
So
to
when did
hold
this happen?
cans too? Is she gonna have to hold the cans?
Is she gonna have to what?
What is referred to as holding the cans?
Yeah,
It's
the
what happens in
Scientology.
Scientology.
I think something like that. This
She saw
interview,
the fucking Scientology shit and she
The
ran
thetan
with
meter.
that.
it's not. This interview was done in March of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
She was sued in 2016, and it looks like there was even federal court in 2017 against her for the things that she did.
Damn, girl. Woo.
Yeah, this shit is wild. Wild.
And what were the results?
He said to me that I had a stage 4 brain tumor and that I had approximately 4 months to live.
Okay, Chase, what do you got?
All right, so let's talk about her language really quick. She starts off with past perfect language. I had driven to the store to pick up milk byproduct, for example. That's past perfect. When I say I had done something, I had done this, it had been a long day. The interviewer brilliantly forces her back into present tense language by asking her a present tensing question, and it works immediately. She then shifts from present back to past. And while she's talking with that, she has uncertainty and a request for approval, and then back to present moment again. So we have some timeline mix-ups. So finally, the one thing I saw that deviated from her baseline was an immediate mouth closure after a statement. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah. So what she's trying to do here is use authority to trick us, to con us into going, oh, okay, I get why this would have happened. And she uses the authority of German technology, okay, which is a classic idea of, well, if it's German, then it's really good, and of course I'd be conned, and anybody would accept this. So just remember that when anybody ever goes, okay, German technology, that is not a moment for you to doff your cap and go, okay, German technology, because yes, they invented the printing press and the hole punch and the MP3 player and electron microscopes, but they also invented the Grumlauf, which was a gun that would shoot around corners. It didn't work very well. There's lots of German technology that's really good and lots of German technology that's really bad. Just because somebody says German technology doesn't mean you should go, okay, stop the interview, stop the interrogation. They were using German technology. It's all cool. Greg, what do you got on this one?
Well, let's take it a step further. A random doctor who's going door to door with German technology. That's the weirdest part of the whole thing. You're like, what the hell is she talking about? If you look at her baseline, if you go watch any other video, she moves her hands. She talks like a normal person. She doesn't here. She's rigid and waiting for the opportunity to do that plug-in again, like a borderline personality kind of person would. At dubbed integrative medicine, her chin drops to protect her throat. Her eyes squint and narrow. She shifts language to disclaim, I believe, and then she lilts up at frequencies. She does some really bad for a second there, faked emotion, and it's really, really bad. There's no lip compression. There's none of that. There's no withholding. She's just blowing out what she thinks will make you feel guilty or bad because you challenged her about this German technology. Scott, what do you got?
All right. And when she starts, we can really tell if you didn't know she was lying, and you just watched this one time through and came back, you'd notice every time she starts, she's lying, just bald-faced lying. She does the upspeak at the end. There's a box, and she gets really still. And again, another thing is, and go back to the thing about illustrators, Chase, was was it Greg? Whoever was talking about illustrators. Her illustrators she's using them at a pretty good pace. When she's talking about that, she talks about the box and that's it. If you're describing something somebody did to you, we've all been to the doctor and go, dude, they took this thing and stuck it down my throat and or stuck it in my ear. And you get more physical with that. You'll be demonstrating more as you go through with the illustrator. So she would have gone back to her back and said, there's a thing under the chair and I had the thing in the back. I believe she would have been given more than that. So the more she lies, you're right, Greg, the less she uses her illustrators and the quieter she gets, the more still she gets. And listen to that upspeak, because we're going to see it throughout this. When she goes back and starts talking about this again later, when she runs into another cat who has the same kind of to do tests on it, another doctor who has the same equipment, she does the same thing. So
She says in 2009, she met a man called Mark Johns, who told her he was an immunologist and neurologist, though no record of him exists.
He had come to my home and went through a series of tests, and this was dubbed integrative medicine.
So he comes to your home and he does some tests on you?
He does.
What sort of tests?
It was a box, a machine with lights on the front, and that machine was apparently German technology. There's two metal pads, one that goes below the chair and one that goes behind your back, and then that measures what I believe or remember to be frequencies.
And what were the results?
He said to me that I had a stage 4 brain tumour and that I had approximately 4 months to live.
Before they start the next one, I think for me, the biggest thing that bothers me out of that clip is that upspeak. Like, I went to the store and I bought a gallon of milk. When people do that, I have an automatic distrust for them. It sets me on edge. What about you guys?
Like it's just a script they've remembered and they're just not able to act their script out. And they're just like deadpan, just like blah, blah, blah.
They're putting the emphasis in the wrong areas. Just, I don't know.
Almost AI-esque.
First off, this reminds me of ancient Asian secrets like Ginsu knives. And second off, when they do that up level at the end of they're looking to see how you're going to respond so that they can change their, how they're doing things to try to manipulate you. That's why they do that.
They're questioning if they're right.
Yeah. They're constantly checking for approval. That's what it is. Like they're asking a question about how was your day? Was it good? Am I okay? Are you mad at me? Mike, this is a channel called The Behavior Panel. And these guys do body language and behavior analysis. And they have covered everybody. Casey Anthony, R. Kelly, all of the psychopaths. I mean, Ted Bundy, Night Stalker, John Wayne Gacy. Who's the one that ate people? What's his name?
Dahmer.
Dahmer. He did Dahmer. They've done. They did Will Smith slapping Chris Rock even, and whether or not, and how to tell that was not staged at all. Really cool channel. I love these guys. Scott Rouse has been awesome and gave me permission to cover their content. So we're going to start taking advantage of this. If you want to come up and hang out, Mike, the link's pinned. Panel's open for anybody who wants to come up and throw down on this. I'm all for it.
And you can tell us the origin of goodbye.
Yes, you can.
Why did you write in the foreword of your book that you got this information in your doctor's office, that you got this prognosis in your doctor's office?
Because I think that being open and telling people the way that it happened would not be understood. And that people would be disappointed or angry for me.
Fucking A. We put in an ad blocker. I promise. It was working.
Not following what is the right way to go about this.
So you lied because you feared you wouldn't be believed. Is that what you're saying?
It's not what I'm saying.
Well, can you be clearer on what you're saying? I mean, you were absolutely misleading, weren't you? You said a doctor gave you this terrible prognosis in his office, and you've just admitted that you didn't say it was at your home and it wasn't with a real doctor because you thought people would be disappointed in you.
No, I believed he was a real doctor.
So did you lie to be believed is the question.
I didn't see him in his doctor's office in Perth.
You didn't see him in his doctor's office ever because he doesn't have an office, does he?
No.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, so let's look at that upspeak, or what people often call high-rise terminal in I guess inflection, the inflection world. So that is a standard of Australian. So in Australian, there's this upward inflection often at the end of each line, like that, and that's quite common. But hers on not be understood is extreme. So it's outside of her cultural baseline. It's outside of her particular baseline. So I would say the upspeak on that, the high-rise terminal understood, means that she isn't even confident herself in the idea that she's putting across as to why she would start this charade or charade in the first place. I'm going to come back to uprise terminal on the next one as well, so I'll hand over to somebody else. Chase, what do you got on this one?
And yes.
And
oh, dude.
It's back. Thank you, everybody.
Wow. Was it Mark moving too much? Oh, he froze. Oh, I thought you froze for a minute. Was it Mark? Was it Mark's big shaking head?
Yeah, I went for that too big. I kind of signaled that one. I got to be subtler.
All right.
Let me go with that again. Chase, what do you got?
There's a breathing shift in here. And there's two ways we're looking for shifts in breathing. We want to look for breathing rate, and we want to look for a shift in breathing location. So comfortable people breathe into their abdomen. If you watch a sleeping animal, sleeping baby, sleeping adult human, they breathe into their tummy. And we breathe into our chest, the more stressed out we become. And the second thing we're looking for is how often a person's breathing. So the breathing rate. So we have a significant rise in the upper chest breathing here, and a rise in breathing rate, which is how often she's breathing. And as a quick pro tip, I hate that word. Better posture makes it easier to conceal shifts in breathing, and loose clothing makes it easier to conceal breathing rate altogether. That sounds like, if you're talking to a bunch of behavior profilers, but people are picking up on this stuff subconsciously, which is where a lot of our gut feelings come from, a subconscious pickup of this, because we've been reading nonverbal communication this long, and language was invented like 10 seconds ago in the gestalt of all of our human existence. Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, she starts off with kind of a steely-looking stare at Tara, and then she sits back, and she goes to a new eye-accessing place we haven't seen yet. She breaks eye contact up and...
What was that?
What he said about people being able to read this without knowing it.
Yes.
And that's why I say most people have lost their instincts and intuitions. It's there for them. They can see it. And subconsciously, they know it's there, but it won't come to the conscious mind. And again, I think that's because many people have been conditioned to like the drama rather than resolution, truth, reality, and things like that.
Well, I think altogether too, there's like an aspect of almost like shame that we push societally. Like, when someone says something, this horrible thing is happening to them, you should believe them in the beginning, up front. Believe them up front until you have reasons not to believe them, right? And that's regardless of whatever your gut feeling is. And that gets dangerous for a lot of us, and that's why so many people are taken advantage of. Hey, Du, how you doing?
Yeah, I've always followed my gut instincts.
Yeah, see, growing up in a Christian home, it was always pushed on me that, that's rude, that's uncaring, that's unloving. You're supposed to do it this way. And I found, especially, going into adulthood and even into my marriage, it certainly fucked up parts of my life and aspects that could have been a lot better.
Unrelated question.
Hang on one second. Mike's here. I'm going to add him. Hold your question 2 seconds. Mike, talk to me. Mike.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. What's your question, 10th? I'm sorry.
No, I'll ask later.
No, I didn't. ask. I just didn't want to leave him sitting in the basement. That's all.
No, just move on. Okay.
No, what's your question?
Oh my God, it's unrelated to this.
I don't care. We're gonna sit here.
The other day when we did that stream review of the two people that were going at Vibe, one was Casper, and who was the other one? Two different people. Wasn't Landry, was it?
No, it was Casper. Casper went at Vibe, and Casper also went at me.
Duck. Never mind. I remember. Okay, I was trying to remember. I was like, did I lose my opportunity to tell Landry off for going at Vibe? And I'm like, I don't think it was Landry. No, so those two imbeciles. I remember now.
It was Duck. That's right. Oh shit! You would have had an opportunity last night. He showed up at my place for once.
Yeah, probably because I left.
Maybe next time.
No, he was up there when you were up there. He was up there kind of early on.
No, I think it was towards the end. No, I think it was towards the end.
She might be right. I forget who
I remember seeing him though.
He might have been in the chat. I don't think he came up till later because I don't know. You could be right. I could be wrong. I was definitely tired. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, yo, Mike. Mikey.
Hey, guys.
There you go.
You want to tell us the origins of goodbye?
Sup, nerd.
1 second. I'll be right back. I'm in the middle of something. I promise.
Okay. I'm going to play this and we'll catch up with you on the next pause.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she starts off with kind of a steely-looking stare at Tara, and then she sits back, and she goes to a new eye-accessing place we haven't seen yet. She breaks eye contact up and to her right. What that means doesn't matter. It just means she wants away from whatever's going on as she figures out how to answer the question. My favorite part of this whole thing is her cadence slows as she's navigating her way through, like a good person who's trying to plug into your receptors would, trying to figure out the right words and play you by ear. And then her eyes narrow as she shows concern once she's in trouble. And you should be able to turn off the sound and know when she's in a bind and thinking when you put it that way, because her respiration goes through the roof. Her blink rate is up when she's busted for lying. She looks up, Mark. I love that at that understand. And then she does my favorite redirect I've ever heard. She answers the last question. When she's asked, so you lied to make yourself look better, she answers the last question. No, I thought he was a doctor. So it's just a beautiful redirect. Scott, what do you got?
Wow. Yeah, you guys got a bunch of these things I was going to do. Another thing, if you turn the sound off, watch her, because she doesn't talk. She just sits there thinking for a while. That's incredible, the amount of time she takes for those. Another thing is she's had so much Botox. She looks like she's going to be the leader of the human ant invasion when it comes in, because everything here in her glabella just about has collapsed and gives her her eyebrows, that inward droop right there in the middle. She's really, really still, really, really still. And we're seeing a lot of things that show us her fight or flight is on, because she's very still. Her eyes are open. They're wide. I'm not seeing a whole lot. I figured I'd see a whole lot of pupil dilation, but there's not. I don't see a whole lot. There is some, but not a whole lot. But her pupils are blown out almost in some of them. They're so large. Her teeth, she shows a lot of her bottom teeth. I know we all do, but hers seem like they're coming through extra for some reason. And I think that's because it's fear. I've seen a lot of things that show us fear in this. And when she says, she does an eye flutter when she says, So I think her brain's like racing to she's got these ideas, what she's going to say in her mind. If they ask me this, I'm going to say this. And she's rehearsed it in her mind, but she has not said these out loud. I think that's why it's so broken as she goes through. She takes so much time because she's constructing those, putting the structure of them together before she sends them out. That's what's taking so long. That's what the pauses are for, I think, at that point. So she's thought about what she's going to say, but she hasn't said it out loud. Now, a lot of times you'll see in an interrogation, if you leave the room and you'll watch on the monitor, somebody will be sitting there, they'll be going, I did not do it. No, I did not. I am not the one that did. You'll see them rehearsing what they're going to say. And so when it comes out, it still sounds goofy, but not like that, not like she sounds. All these things are indications of fear. Most of them are anyway.
Yeah, I thought we fixed. We will have it fixed next time.
You guys cover the breathing and stuff. All right, I'm good. You ready?
Yeah.
Why did you write in the foreword of your book that you got this information in your doctor's office, that you got this prognosis in your doctor's office?
Because I think that being open and telling people the way that it happened would not be understood.
So
And that people would be disappointed or angry for me, not following what is the right way to go about this.
So you lied because you feared you wouldn't be believed. Is that what you're saying?
It's not what I'm saying.
Well, can you be clearer on what you're saying? I mean, you were absolutely misleading, weren't you? You said a doctor gave you this terrible prognosis in his office, and you've just admitted that you didn't say it was at your home and it wasn't with a real doctor because you thought people would be disappointed in you.
No, I believed he was a real doctor.
So did you lie to be believed is the question.
I didn't see him in his doctor's office in Perth.
You didn't see him in his doctor's office ever because he doesn't have an office, does he?
No.
Smooth.
But today she has yet another reason for why she walked away from cancer medication.
Very soon after I'd been started this treatment here in Melbourne, I fell pregnant, and that was a huge catalyst for me.
In what way?
Because I thought, well, if I'm undergoing chemotherapy, then I don't want that to affect my pregnancy.
Oh, so you stopped the chemotherapy because you're pregnant?
I stopped the chemotherapy for various reasons. I didn't know.
Truth, Bill, truth.
Tara, I'm trying to draw on information.
No, don't draw on information. Just be honest.
I am being
Please
honest.
be
Pause.
Okay.
Yes.
So draw on information is a telling phrase there as well, because before she even said that, I was wondering, well, if she's on chemotherapy, what fucking doctor is giving her chemotherapy without having the actual diagnostic prognosis in front of them?
Right.
That's
Right.
what I was thinking too.
There's no way she was getting it. And then she stops it because notice she said, I felt pregnant. Well,
Oh,
chemotherapy.
yeah, I didn't even catch that.
She says, I felt pregnant. Now, chemotherapy is well known for making people feel sick. So like, how do you can't reconcile the shit that she's saying? None of it jives together. It's all bullshit. And it's such bullshit. And watching her try to hold on to it like she's riding a sinking ship is just wild to me.
She's hilarious. Sorry, Ted.
Oh, no, go.
She's hilarious. I highly doubt that she did any of the footwork to be able to establish any basis in reality for any of this, but it reminds me of the act when she like falsified all those documents and stuff to trick all the doctors.
Just wait.
Like, I think
you're gonna lose
these
your
people
mind.
watch stuff and read books and stuff and then think it's their real life.
Oh, just wait, okay? Because you just brought something up that's going to be super important soon. How would she even know what to say, what to complain about, etc.? She did some shit, and she's about to get confronted with it hard. This woman is insane and absolutely the worst liar I've ever seen in my life.
I get Buffy bot feels from her.
Oh God, Buffy bot.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I can't unsee that now.
Just watch.
Okay. Chase, what do you got?
I think, Mark, I'm going to go to your upward tone thing here. I'm just going to touch on it. She says, I felt pregnant, not I was pregnant. And I can feel pregnant too. I can. Which reminded me of that scene from Meet the Parents when the dad, he's talking about milking cats. And he says, you can milk anything with nipples. And the dad goes, I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? So I was cracking up this morning watching that. So there's a lot of uncertainty there and this upward tone.
Hang on here. Hang on, Denizen. I'm a coming. Hello?
Is this me?
Oh, lovely. What do you think so far?
I don't know.
Are you impressed with Barbie?
Who's Barbie?
Fucking Belle Gibson, the woman that they're analyzing here.
She has grift cancer.
The worst kind of grift cancer at that. She actually did grift hugely off of claiming to have cancer and to cure it with an all-natural diet.
Ancient Asian secrets.
Yep. How long have you been in the chat?
0 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, are you familiar with the behavior panel? You'll catch up.
We just watched a clip with it before we came here.
He'll catch up.
Just wanted to hammer in on that I felt pregnant comment. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, so let's talk about that upward tone. We hear it across all her speech because she's Australian, but we hear it at an extreme level on pregnant and pregnancy. So look, upward inflection is used across cultures around dominance, for either distributing dominance. You can use it to create a questioning tone because you don't want to assert. You can even use it assertively to go, hey, I bet you've got a question around that because you're not as intelligent as I am. It can be used in all kinds of ways. It doesn't mean one thing. In this case, I think on pregnant, she's not confident around that. I'm not sure whether there was a pregnancy or there wasn't a pregnancy. I don't know, what the actual biology was there. It wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't a pregnancy, to be honest. But if there was, then she's not even certain that is a good alibi for her. And I think that's why we get the extreme upward intonation there to distribute the power a little bit. She's not so sure. On the pregnancy, the upward intonation there, I think she's looking for buy-in on that one. And so she's come back to the idea to go, do you get that? Do you buy in with that? Is that good for you? By the way, the upward inflection in Australian probably comes from when people left the southeast of England on about 11 ships or so and arrived in Australia. And the part of the country of England where they came from already had an upward inflection. The Norfolk Broads area already had that upward inflection in it. They brought that across. Very small group of people just kept that idea going and going and going in an isolated culture. Also, when you're in an isolated culture, you need to distribute and share more power. And so you're going to have more upward intonation in your voice in order to distribute power within the group that you're with. Greg, what do you got on this one?
Even on an antidepressant, there are days I feel stuck in my head. Depression.
Bite me, YouTube.
Yeah, so when I talk about her being like Jodi Arias, what I mean by that is they're very rigid, but they're also paying attention and they're looking for any opportunity to inject something that may change your opinion and get what they want. And they're threshold thinkers. By that, I mean they're paying attention to any change that occurs so that they can respond to that. And if you watch her, you'll see it here. She starts off and she changes her tone a little bit so you know something's up. And then she tries to fish with the pregnant thing. That's a classic, hey, but I was pregnant, so you got to kind of feel bad for me there. This woman's not buying into that at all. But when she says I felt pregnant, then she's got kind of a little smirk. I think she thinks this woman's dumb enough for that to change the topic, and it doesn't at all. And the interviewer then turns her head and starts that kind of taffy pulling, like, come on, you're not going to try that with me, are you? And she knows that this is not working. So then she has to change gears again. She does a couple of other things. She's got a little bit of anger when she tries to sidestep with the facts. Her voice actually changed. That tone indicates that she's a little irritated that it didn't work. Then she tries to change. She sees that doesn't work either. So you will see things starting to change for her. I don't see anything working for her. And I'm sure she's very frustrated because she's got that same thing Jodi Arias has about plugging into you. Scott.
Real quick, sorry. Gotta let Mike back in. Okay. Mike, talk to me.
Oh, hey, sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. While I have it paused, did you want to tell us the origin of goodbye?
It comes into it originates in the 14th century. God be with ye. So that's what the goodbye comes from.
That's interesting.
God be with you. And so goodbye.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Sorry.
You're fine. All right. I'm going to get through the rest of their reads, and then I'll pause it again and we can chit chat.
Go ahead.
All right. I think you're right, Mark. I think the upspeak on a lot of that is because of her accent, but it goes really high when she starts hitting those things where she's just leaning into the lie real big. And we see the pauses because, again, she's searching and structuring her answer because she hasn't said these things out loud before. And I'm not so sure that somebody else hasn't talked to her about these things, but asked different questions because she's still just taking them. It's not knocking her back or anything. She's just like, coming on strong with these answers. It's kind of unbelievable when you see this, especially since she keeps getting whacked right in the head with, no, I don't believe you. No, I don't believe you. No, I don't believe you. The pupil dilation again here is bothering me because it's not really, it's big, but it's not getting really small. There's a couple of spots in here we'll look at where it gets smaller, but there's not changing a whole lot in there. So I don't know what that means yet, but it's bothering me. It's bothering me. All right. A lot of these things I think we're seeing are just fear, a lot of it. So that's another reason that she's breathing that way. And again, did you say tummy earlier, Chase?
Yeah.
It's because of that dog. Did you call it its tummy tumpkin?
Probably. Yeah. And she was in this interview, she was paid $75K to do this interview.
Oh,
no way.
Well, here's another data point for you. I think Penguin was her publisher, and they did a mock first run with her a while back. That was a hidden video, and they were afraid that something was going to happen. So if you go look, you'll find that Penguin.
Yeah.
You mean all I got to do is write a book about my cancer and say I lied about it, and I can get paid 75? What was it, 75 grand to do an interview?
75.
Holy shit! I just found the perfect grip. Hold on, I'll be back later, guys.
I know. I got to get busy writing a fucking book too. That's outrageous. Outrageous, but they're going to start the interviewer is going to start pushing on some more of the really darker details where it's
good
like,
material for my book.
Yeah. Here you go. You'll get the play-by-play on what steps to take before you start writing your book.
Kent, you want to help write it or do the interview?
I'm just wondering how much they'd pay me if I said that I was faking being gay for the last 6 years. I mean, I should be able to get at least a couple hundred, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
At least.
Tell you what, I'll interview you and you interview me. We can do this shit together, brother.
Yeah, but who's paying us?
Well, you got to do something to get attention brought to the situation.
Yeah, we'll get there.
The Australian news people are paying.
Once you get the attention brought to the situation, then you send that interview off to 60 Minutes, and they'll come in and pay you. Be like, we want our own interview.
Yep.
First we get the money, then we get the power, then we get the women.
Make sure you publish your books through Penguin. Penguin is the publisher you need. Okay. That apparently they'll publish anything. I can't believe she got away with that.
So will Amazon.
Yeah, but Penguin's got a bigger reputation, I think. Maybe Amazon outdoes them now. I don't know. All right, I'll do the research. on the best publisher to use. Okay.
Right on.
Video as well, where she's claiming to have some other kind of cancer and that kind of stuff. And I think it's when they first started to wonder if she was telling the truth. So yeah, you can go find that as well. So Scott, your instinct is good. She's had questioning before this.
But today she has yet another reason for why she walked away from cancer medication.
Very soon after I'd been started this treatment here in Melbourne, I fell pregnant. And that was a huge catalyst for me.
In what way?
Because I thought, well, if I'm undergoing chemotherapy, then I don't want that to affect my pregnancy.
Oh, so you stopped the chemotherapy because you're pregnant?
I stopped the chemotherapy for various reasons. I didn't know.
Truth, Bill, truth.
Tara, I'm trying to draw on information.
No, don't draw on information. Just be honest.
I am being honest with you.
Okay.
I mean, you go into extraordinary details. I had surgery about 7 hours ago. The doctor comes in and tells me the draining failed and I went into cardiac arrest and
Yes.
Can you rewind that about 10 seconds when she answers that question? Watch her head movement. Am I wrong? Did she shake her head no when she said yes?
Here, I'll bring it back to the start of this clip. I think this is about it. We'll see.
And that was a huge catalyst for me.
In what way?
Because I thought, well, if I'm undergoing chemotherapy, then I don't want that to affect my pregnancy.
Oh, so you stopped the chemotherapy because you're pregnant?
I stopped the chemotherapy for various reasons. I didn't know.
Truth, Bill, truth.
Yeah.
Tara, I'm trying to draw on information.
No, don't draw on information. Just be honest.
I am being
Please
honest with you.
Okay.
See, the whole
you go
time,
into extraordinary.
the whole time her head movement was slightly to the left and right. It was never an up and down nod.
Yeah. There are times when a head shake no doesn't necessarily mean that it's contradictory, but in this case, she is lying her ass off. Like, I don't know how she could sit there and do this so bold-faced like this. Like, I don't know. I'm not that kind of person that could do something like this. It bothers me too much. You know what I'm saying?
She was probably an aspiring actress who wasn't getting shit for roles and decided to say, all right, let's see how I can do this, and does this. I would not be surprised if this is like a long acting con for her.
Or, like I have a younger sister and she has borderline personality disorder. And they are notorious for this kind of behavior. Like, it's so common with them to get into these lies where it's a full-on liar's loop. They lie about something, they get caught, so they make another lie to cover that lie, and now the lie doubles and becomes bigger.
This piece of trash like that. I'm trying not to swear in the channel.
You can swear on my channel, that's fine.
She's a piece of shit fucking cunt. Because she makes people who actually have disabilities, then everybody questions, oh, you're just a grifter, you're grifting because you... It's like, no, I actually have real problems, and I also don't grift on it. This bitch needs to be the fucking jail or fucking stoned to death on the streets. I hate this cunt.
So what's going on here? This person is fabricating that she has brain cancer.
Yes, and she wrote a book claiming that she cured her own cancer with no chemo using ancient Chinese medicine and an all-natural diet.
So basically,
so
2 in the morning infomercial.
She created an app so that people who also have cancer could follow her could pay her to follow her regimen and cure their own cancer without chemo.
Okay, here's the problem, right, guys? And I'm gonna say flat out. The problem is that people are always fucking trying to look for shortcuts. And that's the misfortune with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, like, people like this person might make a little money, because there are people out there that is just so desperate and trying to look for shortcuts. It could be with your health, it could be with money, it could be with stress. They just want everything to be so easy, so simplistic. And unfortunately, that's not that's not reality.
I do want to point out again, she was sued civilly by people, and she also was hauled into federal court.
Good.
So,
Yeah, and eventually she's going to run into those type of problems. But people are that stupid to. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine, Mike. They're going to be going into more details, and you're going to get real pissed off in a minute. I mean, you're pissed off now. You're going to get a lot more pissed off.
Look, like I just want to point out, like with I met this person, and he would tell me about his problems, and then like his wife cheating, and then he went to this ayahuasca, and then he saw himself as a spirit, and the spirit.
Told you that in confidence, Mike.
But like, I'm like, dude, you don't have to go to this. You don't have to. It was unnecessary for you to go to Colombia, and then like you already knew your wife was cheating on you, bro. You didn't need it to. All this nonsense bullshit, and then think that somehow that this is going to resolve your problems and everything is going to go away. No, sorry.
Yeah. It catches up with her. Don't you worry.
Fucking baseball bat.
Details. I had surgery about 7 hours ago. The doctor comes in and tells me the draining failed and I went into cardiac arrest and died for just under 3 minutes. I had the most intense bruising from the paddles when they electrocuted me back to consciousness. Minus the wires and constant throwing up of blood. Anyway, the procedure failed and I died.
See, I haven't read back through all of that. But I also think when you're young and have gone through the situation I had just gone through, you are melodramatic.
Okay. Greg, what do you got?
Scott, you don't understand. Once upon a time, really bad things happened to me. So whatever I do, it's okay. That's all she just said. She's just wrapping herself in the blanket of victimhood. That's it. I'll leave that alone and go from there to Scott. What do you got?
Yeah, melodramatic.
I think at this point, Greg, if you and I were going in as a team to talk to her, and they said, no, only one person can talk to her, just one. And I lost the flip of the coin for that. I think at this point, I would have to step in and go, dude, let me do one. Let me do one. Let me ask her one. Because that's the look that's on this woman's face. Like, I can't believe she's telling me this. I really can't believe this is happening. Again, she's really still, and we're seeing fear. A lot of this is fear. So I think she knows what's coming, and and again, from being questioned before, maybe she's sort of used to that feeling, and she's just sitting there taking it.
I hate that I can't keep this a secret. I canceled all my delivery subscriptions and
I think I have an idea to make money.
Yeah.
Maybe
everybody on the Glabella
buy it from me
because of those eyebrows. Mark,
what are we gonna make, Mike?
To make your hair grow in the hairline. Yeah. And there's a special cocktail, white sauce.
It's going to be bottles of piss.
I have a cocktail that we could use, Mike.
And
got white sauce too.
Yeah, white sauce. You know what I mean? The special kid sauce.
So Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it squirts out of my dick.
Extra protein involved in that one.
Extra proteins. It's just like the video that 10th has with the snake oil, and then you see all those actors because back then that's what it used to do. They used to hire them. They used to be, hey, look, just pretend like you lost an arm, and then you're drinking the snake oil, and then your arm grows back, and then people
exactly,
and then people get fooled by that because they're looking for some sort of miracle and some sort of hope.
Yeah, but now consider these are people with cancer. Terminal fucking brain cancer.
And that's the sad part. That's really sad.
Oh, just wait, because she's about to get confronted about at least one of her victims. And it's fucking, it's going to piss you off.
You got.
Yeah, so I think she's coming on a lot stronger in this one. When she wants to make her point after that initial attack from Tara, we get a really good side glance eye roll, okay? And bitterness in the mouth and disdain, I would say, within moments of each other. So she really does not like what Tara is doing here. There's a real battle going on. She then shrugs off the attack from her shoulders. She shakes off the attack with her head, and she casts her eyes down and gets the attack to roll off her. So now it's a real battle. I think she comes on stronger, and she's wanting this to roll off her, and she feels disdain for the interviewer. Chase, what do you got on this one?
You should narrate something for National Geographic.
Say something about giraffes, Mark. Talk about giraffes just for a second.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll get a video up sometime, and I'll do my National Geographic voice. Yeah.
So there's one thing we see here. She's talking about all the crap that she went through, but then the behavior that's not explainable. She says the word "you." She shifts from "I" to "you." At the moment you want to question something, it's talking about you. So I'll say it again, pro tip. Almost everyone you'll ever speak to who are guilty are going to reveal their self-reassurance strategy within the statements in the beginnings of almost any interview. And this is how they rationalize what they did, how they socialize what they did, and how they minimize it. And this little reveal tells you the precise strategy that you are going to need to obtain a confession. That's all I got.
I mean, you go into extraordinary details. I had surgery about 7 hours ago. The doctor comes in and tells me the draining failed and I went into cardiac arrest and died for just under 3 minutes. I had the most intense bruising from the paddles when they electrocuted me back to consciousness. Mm-hmm. Minus the wires and constant throwing up of blood. Anyway, the procedure failed and I died.
See, I haven't read back through all of that. But I also think when you're young and have gone through the situation I had just gone through, you are melodramatic.
Excellent.
Melodramatic now? I mean, they're straight out lies. You weren't in hospital. You're claiming
and that's what I would say.
Claimed you died twice. You didn't.
No.
Claimed you
No,
had 2
I
cardiac
didn't.
arrests. You didn't. That's not melodramatic. That's straight out lying.
It is.
Extraordinary lies. And if you lie about that, and you go to those extraordinary lengths to create the story around that lie, how can we believe anything you say now?
Tara, I have lost everything and I'm not here to regain it. But when you hit rock bottom, there is only an opportunity to be honest and to heal and to apologise. And I'm here to do that. There is no reason for me to lie. And it's not something I want to be doing either.
All right, I'm going to go first on this one because I think you're right, Greg. I think this is from those questions they gave her a little class in how to answer questions. That's what it is. That's why she's talking like that and sounded like that. I really think that's what's going on there. She does the eye blocking after she admits she lied, and she does the eye blocking by keeping her eyes closed too long. And then we do actually see a little bit more glabella work in here at that point. So she's, but it's not like this. She's not getting anything above this, but it's all in here. So she must be trying really hard to make that happen at that point. But like Rocky, she's standing there just taking these punches, man, just boom, 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 and just sitting there taking them. It's unbelievable how she keeps doing this and hasn't gotten up and left yet, I think. So I think she's been prepped. You're right, Greg. Sort of dawning on me now.
She's sitting there taking them because she wants the $75K for sitting through it. You know, I think that money is an amazing motivator to take punishment.
Oh yes, for what, like 2 hours? Yeah, I would. My husband would divorce me if I didn't take it.
Yep. You're like, doesn't matter what they say to you. You're just gonna sit there and just agree to everything. Admit you're bad.
Yeah, you're going to do the same thing Walter White did in fucking Breaking Bad. I was in a Fuick state. I remember nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what she is doing.
You're seeing that part of it. So, all right, Greg, what do you got?
So, but she's pissed. if you can't see pissed in net, look at those set lips. Her jaw is set. Her chin is down at one point. Her left brow goes up. She shows concern in here, and she's got asymmetry in her mouth as she's looking at her. That set jaw and that respiration increase, and then the eye blocking. She does kind of a pseudo smile, and she's got a voice fry in here. She's pissed. She's just containing it. I really do think this is, if you remember Jody, how poised she was, except for when she would come back at you with the right word. I see the same thing, the same behavior. If I were interrogating this person, I would stroke her ego like all hell. Oh, I get it. It was really bad. You were in a horrible situation, until I got her to start talking. And then I would just turn and jump on her. And that's the way you get this kind of people to break. That's the way you do it in interrogation. It works wonderfully. Mark, what do you got?
I love how they give us
I'm
these
tired and I sit outside. Four kids come around trying to get me high. Don't bother if you come around
What
with
the-
your crew. I'm never gonna touch that boring old crew. They offer
Oh my God, are you
In
guys seeing
God's
this?
name is yeah, I would let this play. This is amazing.
There and they said we'll cheer. Go get
Oh
that
no,
old
it's
away
Barbara
from me. All you
Bush.
girls want me on the regular bean, but I would rather have me some nasty green. On the streets they try and give
It's an anti-coffee commercial.
It's an anti-drug commercial, isn't it? No, it is not.
Just say no to regular coffee, and yes to Mud Water's new organic mushroom coffee with the fraction of the caffeine.
What
over
the
2,000
fuck
milligrams
just
of mushrooms
happened?
and L-theanine. You could say goodbye to reckless caffeination.
Oh my God.
And get
Oh
high
my
on the right
God,
supply.
I thought it was an anti-drug commercial.
It said get
was an
high
actual
on the right
to fix your
substance.
fix today.
Wow.
I don't know what to say to what we just saw.
So it's really difficult to see from, our point of view. You kind of look at it and go, well, why is she hanging on in there? Why is she hanging on in there? Well, I would suggest her whole idea of herself hinges on this idea of the cancer and everything around it. If she admits to a lie, either consciously or unconsciously, it would shatter her idea of herself. And that's why, from our point of view, we might go, I'm not really attached to this story. All right, I made it up. She's super attached to this. Whether for a personality like this, whether it's something like Munchausen or whether it's an antisocial behavior disorder, either way, you will be so attached to this idea. The moment of admitting a lie shatters everything. So that's why I think she's hanging on in there. There's no reason for me to lie. It's not something I want to be doing. Is an interesting, though, way of phrasing it, because it doesn't ever say that she isn't lying. And it doesn't ever say, I'm telling you the truth. I would want to hear from her, I'm telling you the truth, or I'm not lying. What she says is, there's no reason for this, and I'd never want to do it, which doesn't mean she isn't doing that right now. Chase, what do you got on this one?
So I have a friend and a colleague in the Department of Defense. Her name is Amy. And I trained her maybe 7-8 years ago, and several times. And she commented on one of our YouTube videos one time. And she said, Chase, you've been saying this for years. And someone responded to her like, I'm sorry, the behavior panel only started a year ago. In all caps, that's not possible. So I say that because all of us exist outside of your iPad or outside of YouTube. We're real humans. And all of us have probably collectively interviewed tens of thousands of people.
Pause.
And I say this to say I'm willing to bet that none of us.
And that's exactly what I was saying about that 1.1%. There's so much more in reality that we have to pay attention to. You can't go into chats making those stupid comments like that. That's impossible. And this is 0.1% of what's real. This is likely what's impossible.
The masses is could be very stupid. I mean, look at the Hatua girl with the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? Are you seriously going to take advice from a girl who spits on a penis? Seriously. On how to manage? I really
jealous.
I mean, well, you know what? It lasted, and I knew it eventually was going to fall out. And I'm not sure if she's still around, but I'm pretty sure she made really, really great money, and I hope that she does other investment with that money. If she doesn't get prosecuted, because a lot of people were going after her, trying to sue her for the cryptocurrency thing.
The Haktua girl?
Yeah, the Haktua girl.
Huh.
And then but you should see like that. What is it? Like, yeah, go ahead.
Whatever happened to Sam Bankman-Fried with FTX? What happened to that? Just disappeared, right?
Yeah, that's another thing too. But what happened to that?
That's a secret because it was a CIA front.
But if like you have like these YouTubers, like, and not you guys. I'm talking about like not the streamer. I'm talking about these commercials on YouTube. Do you want to make money? Then they show you like a Lamborghini. Do you see this? Oh, you know what? If you want to make $100,000 a month, all you have to do is just buy in my course, and and all this bullshit. And you see every day I see new faces. I see like a lot of new faces. And I'm like, I don't even know how many suckers these people get.
Right. All right.
Have ever heard anyone say lying is not something they want to be doing? Those words, lying is not something I want to be doing in any interview I've ever experienced. And we've done quite a bit in some unusual circumstances. That's all I got.
My favorite one I ever had, Chase, was lying's not something I'm comfortable with. Well, good, because you're not good at it either.
Melodramatic now. I mean, they're straight out lies. You weren't in hospital. You're claiming you were. Claimed you died twice. You didn't. Claimed you had 2 cardiac arrests. You didn't. That's not melodramatic. That's straight out lying.
It is.
Extraordinary lies. And if you lie about that and you go to those extraordinary lengths to create the story around that lie, how can we believe anything you say now?
Tara, I have lost everything.
Let me show you something that makes me furious every time I see it. This is a real tax return from someone making
That anti-copy commercial got
$284,972
me,
per year.
dude. I gotta watch it again later.
And I'm not here to regain it. But when you hit rock bottom, there is only an opportunity to be honest and to heal and to apologize. And I'm here to do that. There is no reason for me to lie, and it's not something I want to be doing either.
All right.
So what did the brain scan show?
He brought in scans and it showed a brain tumour. But that wasn't my scan, because most recently I went back to the Alfred and I got my full portfolio from them. And I did get that brain scan, but there is no brain tumour there.
All right, Chase, what do you got?
I think these facial expressions we're seeing from the interview are absolutely priceless. But I think it's incredible that we're seeing someone admitting to lying and then lying to cover up the lie that they just admitted to. And I have a hunch that this might be deceptive. But I will admit it's a scenario I have never witnessed once in my life. But I think it's potentially deceptive. Scott, what do you think?
That's why this is so fascinating. Greg and I stayed on the phone. He was calling me every 4 minutes. Did you see this? Did you see this? I'm like, yeah, I'm right in the middle of it. I watched this like 4 times straight through. One thing where she says, most recently, I went back to the Alfred. Nobody talks like that. What have you been doing today? Well, most recently, I went to Hattie B's and got hot chicken. Nobody talks like that. It's just odd. So that lets us know she hasn't said this out loud before. That was my big one on there. Was just trying to do one. And her delivery is the same as all the other ones when she's right in the middle of it, when she's getting the heat turned on. So we see her in that her, don't jump off of there. We see fear in her face, the whole thing. Her freeze, fight, or flight is just on fire at this point, I think. All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, it's deception. It's layers of deception at a level that you don't really often see, because you don't often get to see somebody like this, because most people are not attached to their lies to the level that she has attached to them, for all kinds of psychological and financial reasons. That her whole life is attached to this idea. If the idea gets destroyed, her whole life is destroyed. And you can imagine that's going to be pretty tricky. So the lies keep layering up here. What's really lovely about this, I did get that brain scan, but no tumor. So she sets up at the end this idea of that brain scan, but at the start, she sets up the idea of she was shown scans, and those scans had a tumor. So that brain scan isn't in the first story. So it creates mystery. It's like, that's a mystery, isn't it? No, it's not, because you just follow the line of logic there, scans that somebody bought in, and then she goes to her file and looks at that brain scan, which we know didn't show up in that pile over there. The whole story is just falling apart for him. It's a massive disaster. You and I would give up at this point. She's going to continue with this one. Greg, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, Mark, I always call what you're talking about personal extinction. It doesn't necessarily need to be financial. It can be that a person is so vested in being the tallest person in the room, even when they're not, that if they learn they're not, then that's all they have, and you've torn it up. When I talk about interrogation, I often say there are 4 cards in the box. If I tear 3 up and show you the 4th one, you'll do what I want you to do. That's human nature. And I think that is the complexity with it. The other thing we see here is she started off by saying she was a victim, that she had been tricked by the traveling doctor with the German technology. Here's another guy tricking her, and we're going to see this. Okay, now Chase, I'm going to use the stagecoach, the guy who
and he had lost his ear and his eye and everything. And he had this magic elixir is going to fix everything right up.
Right.
But you see how, like, basically when a person, and this is how it is in general, a person always have to come up with another lie to cover the other lie.
Right.
Even with Josh, he did the same shit. When I'm like, he's trying to cover something up, and then desperately you see like some sort of like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. I need to come up with another story to basically, back myself up. People normally that do that live in a fantasy world.
I dare you to question whether or not I'm a wolf every second Tuesday. I dare you.
Funny story. During one of their fucking analysis on one of the shows that they did, Scott Rouse was like, this makes no sense. All you have to do is be like, hey, Alexa, call 911. And his Alexa actually fucking called it. And while he was midstream, the fucking cops were banging down his door. He didn't realize that fucking Alexa had called 911, like picked him up and actually done what he told it to do. It was actually really funny.
Yeah.
But
yes.
But yeah, though, you're right, Mike. And so I've seen my sister, like I said, she's got that BPD, and I've seen her do that exact thing where she starts with one story and then it's like she gets caught, when there is no place she can go because the lie is exposed. She comes up with another lie to explain why she lied in the first place. And then that leads to another lie and another one, and it gets so big. I don't know how people who do that keep track of all of it. I couldn't.
Yeah.
It would drive me insane. It's too much effort for me, right? But
agreed.
I guess they don't have a life, so therefore, what are they losing by doing it?
And if you look at their personal life, you're like, fuck, your life is just chaotic.
Right.
It's just miserable. It's just like a pile of shit.
Right.
Yep.
And that's the thing, right? Because
I'm doing the best I can, Mike.
All right. You ready for me to hit play?
There's a reason why it says the truth shall set you free, right?
Agreed.
And that's actually the Bible. The truth shall set you free. There's a reason for that. Once you begin to,
the lying becomes oppressive, right?
Uh-oh. Mikey, you're breaking up.
Oh,
you're gone.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
There you are.
I'm going to go ahead and hit play because I got to mute. My dog's being a brat. My son just got back.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
This brain scan, when she asked a question, did you have a brain tumor? She says, well, he brought out this stuff. She distances from the question. And she said, in fact, he told me I had a brain tumor. Well, she didn't. She's making way too much eye contact and she's talking the front of her mouth. Here we go again. Her chin drops, her pupils dilate. This is all her. She's in a bind. I agree with you. She's so vested in it. She has to hold on. And that's what we're seeing.
So what did the brain scan show?
He brought in scans and it showed a brain tumor. But that wasn't my scan because most recently I went back to the Alfred and I got my full portfolio from them. And I did get that brain scan, but there is no brain tumor there.
Us light workers have distinct nervous systems. We're wired differently.
I've never heard of
that aspect of this
anything
reality
medically
is
being
that our physical health suffers when we're
seen
not
as a
sharing our
portfolio.
gifts in the biggest,
I've never
best
heard
ways,
that terminology
and
with
not fully
anything
living our
medical in my life.
purpose. When our energies and
That's probably what they
frequencies
call
aren't
it
fully
in
aligned,
Australia. She's AFK. She'll be back in a minute. Oh, there she is. There she is. Oh, great. She's bought the ocean.
All right. I had to freaking get the dog dealt with because, like I said, my son just got back.
It's a good time for a grift.
Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing you this badass content. You should absolutely donate $5 or $10, $15, whatever you want to send in. It would be wonderful.
$1 million.
I greatly appreciate everybody being here. I hope you're enjoying this breakdown. These guys are awesome. I love this content. This is my kind of thing. This is what I geek it. One of the things I geek out on. But hope you guys are enjoying it too. Did you guys have any input you wanted to give at the moment?
I just wanted to know why she's by the water. Hopefully someone's going to drown the bitch.
Yeah, that would be nice, especially when
I'm so mad at her. Oh, I'm sitting here just like literally just barely holding my mind together. Like I thought the other one was going to be bad. This is way worse. Like I'm sitting here going, okay, the doctor just told me last week nothing can fix what's wrong with me. So I'm fucked. And this bitch going around with actual fake grift cancer and she's trying to make excuses for it. Like she's literally the epitome of why Dusty has fake grift cancer. She caused Dusty to have fake grift cancer. Bitches like this.
Right?
She caused it. It's fucking crazy. Absolute. I can't. I want someone to drown this bitch, but real slow. Like take a couple of hours to do it. And keep bringing her back to life like she fucking lied about. And do it a fucking again until you can't bring her back no more. With doctors and shit. Fuck that bitch.
Oh, this is going to get rough with 10th Man.
He's saying he never ever told you that you had cancer throughout your body.
Mm-hmm.
Did he ever say that to you?
He did.
So he's lying, you're not lying.
I'm not lying. He definitely told me that my brain tumor is still present and that I have new and secondary cancers.
And how did he assess that?
In the same way that Mark did. Similar machines and similar equipment.
That bitch, some fucking lucky she's in Australia. I tell you that much right now.
I mean, she sounds like a habitual lying toddler that just lies about everything and just hopes you'll believe it.
I don't even see that as a fucking human being.
Think about this. Run this one through, okay? She goes to the hospital. The hospital tells her that she does not have a tumor. The same weird doctor who knocked at her door in the beginning shows back up and says, "You still have cancer and it's worse. My German technology says so. The doctors at the hospital are wrong." And she's fucking clinging to this bullshit. Lippy, I heard you wanting to talk.
Well, yeah, I was going to address the same thing. Your first scan showed that you didn't have cancer. And now somehow you got a second scan somewhere. This is why I questioned the first one. Where was the evidence that she had cancer to begin with? Now I'm questioning it again because the first scan said she didn't have it. Now they're calling it a secondary cancer, meaning that there was a primary cancer that they have no evidence of.
Okay, so what happened was the dude said that she had cancer, right? And then so she goes and gets the scans, and they say she doesn't. And so she sees dude again. And he's like, "No, you do, but now it's worse."
It's the guy with the German technology who keeps affirming that she has cancer.
That's what I'm trying to understand. Are they still using the same German technology that's two fucking toilet paper rolls with an extension cord put through it?
Yes. He shows back up with his machine.
No, he fucking does not. What?
I'll rewind it.
Whoa. Are you saying it's the same fucking doctor the whole time?
No, listen. There's
okay, because I was about to start. I would rage quit this fucking shit right now.
Hang on. Listen. So in the very beginning, the first person to tell her she had cancer was the doctor who came knocking at her door and said, "I have this German technology. Let me give you a body."
I'm too high for this.
Okay. After that, she goes to the hospital and the hospital tells her, "No, you don't have a brain tumor." The same doctor from the beginning.
No, you fucking didn't bring back.
Shows back up at her house, runs the test again and says, "Yes, you do." And it's worse. So it is the same doctor, but there was a actual hospital in the middle who says, "No, you don't have cancer."
I'm mad at you for showing me this video. I don't even know what's happening right now. That doctor didn't come back a second time. This bitch, bring mental institutions back fucking tomorrow. Right now, this bitch needs to be institutionalized. She's dangerous. She'll murder somebody and explain to you she wasn't even there. She was down at the pub and she fucking murdered all kinds of people. These bitches are fucking crazy. They need to be put away.
Actually, I was going to say, if this person would have been in China, she would have been executed.
Dispatch, contact the short bus, please. Dispatch, contact the short bus. We have one going in.
True story. This is no lie. If you commit this kind of fraud, you get executed in China. A lot of people, I think, a couple of people that were doing scams in Cambodia, they got deported to China. They're immediately for execution.
Do more countries than not still have death penalties?
Yes.
No.
No. Oh,
not
here we
death.
go.
Not. No. What do you consider?
Do we need a tiebreaker? Pero, do you know?
What do you consider?
Google it while we watch.
Okay.
All right. Here, I rewound it.
Okay.
Here, listen to her 10th.
He brought in scans and it showed a brain tumor. But that wasn't my scan because most recently I went back to the Alfred and I got my full portfolio from them.
Oh,
and I did get that brain scan.
Most
but there
countries
is
do
no
not
brain
have a
tumor
death
there.
penalty.
So you see, the hospital says she has no brain tumor. Now,
He's saying he never ever told you that you had cancer throughout your body.
Mm-hmm.
Did he ever say that to you?
my
He
mic
did.
working?
So he's lying, you're not lying.
I'm not.
Yes, Denizen.
yes, it is, Denizen. What's up?
Okay, cool. I was just saying, almost every country on earth has abolished the death penalty.
I didn't know that. Thank you for confirming.
lying. He definitely told me that my brain tumor is still present and that I have new and secondary cancers.
And how did he assess that?
In the same way that Mark did. Similar machines and similar equipment.
Did you think to go to a doctor? Did you think to go to the hospital? Did you think to get this checked out?
Not really, not initially. I was devastated.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
Well, Chase, I'm going to tell you what's wrong with you. I've got this piece of paper.
For a minute? She was like,
This is the most asinine thing I've ever heard anybody say. Okay,
What? What'd you say, Mike?
You see how she paused for a minute? She was like, "Oh fuck, how do I answer this? Shit,
Yeah.
You make me look bad."
See, but this is why grift cancer is so terrible, because it can come back even after you've been re-diagnosed and it disappeared, and can just come back instantaneously when you have an interview you're getting paid $75,000 for.
Yeah, I've got to go in every 4 months to keep getting scans, even though I was declared cancer-free back in late October. Every 4 months, I got to go in and get another scan for the next couple years or so, just to make sure it's not going to turn around and come back.
Well, you had real cancer. She never fucking did.
Yeah, I'm just explaining the process.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky, El Perro, because you had real cancer. It doesn't come back as often as grift cancer, but you don't get the $75,000. That's the only downside.
You had to
the
pay
real
the
cancer.
$75,000.
Yeah.
Anybody should get the $75,000. It's fucking Perro.
Yeah, and Denizen was right about the death penalty. More than 70% of the world's, countries have abolished it. So,
interesting.
Yeah, in like Western countries, it's almost non-existent. Like in all of Europe, only Belarus has it. In the G7, only Japan and the United States have it.
Okay.
One time, a person comes along with a random box and tells you have a brain tumor by putting a paddle on each side of your body. Okay, I made a mistake. I'm supposed to die 4 months later. I find out I'm not dying from that. Then the same guy or another guy brings a similar technology and tells me I'm going to die. And it's been 4 months. Just the sheer logic to the question, the sheer logic to the story doesn't make any sense. Why would anybody believe it, number one, right up front? But then as she's trying to figure out what to say, listen to her halting responses as she's trying to figure out the right words to make this work. There's no logical answer that's going to make it work. And you can hear her brain is doing the squirrel in the road as it tries to figure out the right answer to use in the next sentence. Chase, what do you got?
Yes.
If I had a nickel for every German technology scanning salesman that comes by.
You say that all the time.
Yeah. So in this one, if you've got a high def device, or if you're watching this on a big TV, you can see largest pupil dilation throughout the whole video, right when she says he did. Go ahead and cross that off, Scott. So as a quick secondary, there's strong transderivational search in response to this question. A very simple question. So as the question is being asked, her eyes are accessing all over the place to try to retrieve data. This is one of the very few things I personally will ever say that is almost always a standalone indicator of deception on its own and by itself. And we say look for clusters all the time. This is one that I believe is an exception, in my opinion. Mark, what do you think?
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus. And this is your brain.
Simple question.
You're in the
Takes too
zone.
long and look
You're getting
everywhere.
in the
Yeah, so we get that big upward inflection on present. The cancer was still present, like way out of baseline, way out of the baseline for her personally and an Australian. So there's an issue there with this ideal of the present cancer. Similar machines. So why the stutter around this idea of machines? She doesn't do it anywhere else. I think she doesn't have a clear image of this machine in her head. I don't think, we've heard her describe the last one. It was a box and it had some lights on it. I've been hooked up to some medical machines in my time, either because I need some treatment or I've been helping salespeople sell those machines. I remember all of those machines. I could describe to you those machines. Now, look, I may get some details wrong because memory is an odd thing, but I'd certainly give it a damn good go. And I get some of it actually pretty right, I think. I'm not quite sure that she has a real picture in her head about these machines. So I'm not entirely sure that even the boxes really with the lights or any of that stuff even really existed. I'm not even sure there was a German guy called Mark, or maybe that one wasn't called. No, this recent one was Mark. I don't know what the past German guy, or maybe it wasn't German. He just had German stuff. German stuff.
German stuff.
She's anyway, one last thing I want to say about this. Sweaters, cardigans, it's bleak, it's lonely, it's cold. She needs comfort and protection. Not only is she putting herself up as the victim here, but actually, 60 Minutes, to give her a little bit of her due, is playing along with this as well. They are creating images around her of bleakness, of loneliness, of needing comfort, of wrapping up warm. I think to get this idea of, yes, the victim, but also the idea of somebody who needs hope. And I think this is what people are most upset around this, is she did give some people some hope where she wasn't really going to be able to supply any of that in reality. And she maybe knew that and maybe she didn't, but they were being sold an idea of hope that she couldn't really deliver. So I think 60 Minutes are kind of joining in on this just a little bit to characterize her. So we should watch out for that. Scott, what do you got on this one?
All right. That odd head nod when she's saying, I'm not lying, that's a confirmation nod because she's selling this hardcore. And then after she finds out that this guy's not a real doctor, she doesn't run to a real doctor and go, dude, am I dying or what's going on here? What have I got? Have I got something? What's going on? That's the first thing you're going to do. After that, you're going to go find your lawyer. You're going to sue all those people back into the Stone Age, every one of them, if this were true. So those are the things I've got on that. Again, she's back to her upspeak, just like in the very first video where she's doing the upspeak stuff and all those things like you were pointing out as well, Mark. She's back to that. And when she gets to the machine, same stuff again. So those things she's talked about in her head, but she hasn't talked about them out loud except for that first one. That's why I think she was having a problem in the second one, Mark. And I think maybe she saw something on the internet, like on YouTube or something, where she saw somebody with a box like that and she's trying to grab that and describe it, but doesn't remember that much about it as she went through. So that's what I think. Greg? Or is that everybody?
Everybody. Yep.
Dang it. Okay.
Finally got your ass because you like to call everybody else out for forgetting.
Oh, of course I'll edit that out.
He's saying he never ever told you that you had cancer throughout your body.
Mm-hmm.
Did he ever say that to you?
He did.
So he's lying, you're not lying.
I'm not lying. He definitely told me that my brain tumor is still present and that I have new and secondary cancers.
And how did he assess that?
In the same way that Mark did. Similar machines and similar equipment.
Did you think to go to a doctor? Did you think to go to the hospital? Did you think to get this checked out?
Not really, not initially. I was devastated.
Wow.
Do you know what the definition of truth is?
Yes.
What's your definition of truth?
Speaking with honesty and with clear definition around fact.
And what's your definition of a lie?
Well, obviously the opposite of that.
All right, Chase, what do you got?
So I'm going to do another pro tip. I decided to make this a pro tip series. I think I stacked these in here because we were all going to do just one thing on these, and I just wanted to make stuff up that nobody else would get. So here it is.
What do you got?
The stack of papers technique, and Scott has a different name for this. He calls it a BS folder, BS binder.
Yeah.
Is absolutely deadly effective in interrogations. And I thought that's what was going to happen when she opened this little thing of papers. Because as I'm asking a question, I'm pulling something out that looks like a reference piece of paper as the question's coming out, where like I might have a piece of data that you don't have access to. And I want to make sure I get this crystal clear. So I'm going to look at the paper while I'm asking the question. That is a unbelievably effective technique. And you can do this with your phone, and it works a whole lot of different ways. But I think it's incredible. The interviewer is almost becoming vengeful.
Did your teenager develop depression, anxiety, or eating disorders after becoming addicted to social media platforms?
At this point here, that's my thing. Greg?
Yeah, the intelligence interrogation moniker for that is file and dossier. That's what that's called. Actually, you create some kind of garbage file and you come in and do whatever. Yeah, so what's funny here is when she starts to poke on her, you're seeing this is the animal. This right here, I always say the organism does what made the organism successful. This is it. This is what she does best, is look for what you need and try to feed it to you. Watch her. This is her in the wild. You see a little bit of fear, a little bit of disgust, and a little bit of terror, or whatever's going on in her face as she's trying to figure out what do you want. And then she starts feeding you little pieces of information like your 9-year-old kid would in a bind. And then it's when you tell the truth and when you get a little bit of positive feedback, then she starts giving other stuff and she absolutely gets excited to do it. It's funny to watch, but this is her in the nutshell. This is one of those typical people who's looking for a receptor and plugging into it. And you can watch her. Then when she says, well, what's the opposite, or what's your definition of a lie? Well, obviously be the opposite. It is so telling. This is the entire interrogation right here. This is why you want to dogpile her, make her think you believe in her, and then dogpile and turn on her. That's how this works best. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I wish somebody would ask me that question, because I literally got a whole book that I could give them on definitions of what truth and lies are. So obviously her definitions are pretty naive, and just because and truth and lies are not necessarily the antithesis of each other, and therefore her logic is off skew completely from moment one. But all of that said, when she says yes, she's relatively strong with that, because this is the one thing she doesn't want to go near, which is what is the truth and what is a lie. Because if she defines this in the wrong way, again, her world just completely unravels in front of her. So she's got to do this very, very carefully. I think at that moment we see fear and anger at the same time in her face. Micro gestures in the face, I would say, but enough that those two things converge into fear and anger at the same time on yes. Go and take a look. Tell me whether you think I'm correct. Put it down below. Scott, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, you're right. When you see that it's a blending of two expressions at the same time, that's great. But my thing is 4 words. When she asks her what a lie is, and mine's going to be super short, she does not know.
Do you know what the definition of truth is?
Yes.
What's your definition of truth?
Speaking with honesty and with clear definition around fact.
And what's your definition of a lie?
Well, obviously the opposite of that.
The childlike thing does not fucking work for me. I don't know about you guys. That shit drives me insane.
But it did work for her in the past. That's why she's doing it now.
Of course, the organism does what made it successful. But
now, see, little ploys like that might work with a lot of men, but it won't work with women, especially if you've had a daughter. She's doing a little thing like, oh, woe is me, and trying to get the, the sympathies.
I'm just a poor, poor girl. Oh, whoa.
Me too.
Oh, I can't stand her. I can't stand the people like this. It's mind-blowing.
And on that note, here we go.
You're 23, right? Well, actually, how old are you?
I've always been raised as being currently a 26-year-old.
How old are you?
Well, I live knowing, as I've always known, that I would be 26.
Okay, Bill.
This
is a really, really simple question. How old are you?
I believe that I'm 26. I have two birth certificates, and I've had my name changed 4 times. The identity crisis there is big, but that was my normal when I was growing up, Tara. That
What do you know the truth to be now?
That's probably a question that we'll have to keep digging for, because it's not something I've ever understood or had answers around.
That was pretty profound, actually.
Mental institution.
She comes in hot at the end.
So she grew up being a con artist. Gotcha.
Name change 4 fucking times, doesn't want to disclose when her real birthday is. She's just going to say she's 26. She's probably older than that.
I'm starting to realize why this freaked me out so bad.
Why?
My ex was like this, and also my aunt, and I didn't really notice it till like recently, like in the last little like half hour. I'm like, oh fuck, man, all these weird ass traits with like, like that weird ass shit that she just said, where it's like, well, I feel like I'm 26 or whatever. It's like, oh,
I believe I'm 26, and if I believe I'm 26, that's just like your whole thing of being a black Jewish,
black
lesbian.
Irish Jewish lesbian.
Yeah, exactly. I feel it.
You got to get the rhythm. It's all about the rhythm.
Yes.
Non-binary, transgender, transracial, paleo, vegan, ghost, black, Irish, Jewish, lesbian, wolf every second Tuesday, and also a witch.
Yes, you are much better at it than I am.
It's all about the rhythm.
I can't even remember all of them, so.
I know, it's a skill.
I know, it's fucking impressive. But at least you have some grounding in reality, whereas this chick is so far out in space, I have no clue where the fuck she is.
Wait a second. I'm trying to be the craziest. You saying I'm not yet? All right, I'll keep working on it.
Well, take some notes from the woman we're watching, I guess.
I already have grift cancer and grift mental illness. I don't know. What do you want?
Well, fair enough. I guess you got to write a book with Pero. He got quiet. He's working on his book over there.
Yeah, we're already on it.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, this is a really good one because she has prepared for this. We always talk about chaff and redirect, and she tries some of that. She blasts out a whole bunch of, well, I had more than one birth certificate. But she's also tries something really profound. We've only ever seen one other person try, and that was Stephanie Lazarus. She tries anchor and redirect. She's been telling you how bad her life was in the past, and now she tries to go back to that anchor to use that as a redirect to say that was my normal. I had 4 birth certificates. I was a victim. Horrible things were happening. I guess the only way we're going to know how old she is cut her in half and count the rings like a tree. That's all there is. Scott, what do you got?
All right. And from my point of view, I don't think body language comes in at this point. I don't think we're dealing with that here. This is all psychological. And this is where we see there's something really wrong with her. This is where it starts to peel back and you go, oh my Lord, I've told you guys about that situation where 2 people had the same thing within like a week of each other. That was, just for you guys to remember what we talked about was a schizophrenic situation. And in this case, when you see this, you just go, oh, I see what's going on here. This isn't about, at this point, we're not talking about body language. We're talking about a psychological situation here. She's against the wall and she's lying. She's not answering the question. She's trying her best not to answer that question. For whatever reason, she doesn't want to. But she says she's had her name changed 4 times and she doesn't say how old she is. And she's always grown up to believe she was this age. There's a lot going on there. And I'm not a person that can step in there and say what all these psychological things are, but that's where that's pointing for me. Chase, what do you got?
I think she is directing it in a way that makes it look psychological. And this little clip has 3 segments in it. So there's 3 little question and answers. So I'm going to use the behavioral table of elements. You can download it right in the link in the description, to just analyze that first little 7 seconds of her response. There's vague language. There's 2 qualifiers: hesitancy, a transderivational search during questioning, which we just talked about, and there's deviation from iHome during the recall there. So this gives her a score of 25, which is extremely high. A score over 11 indicates a likelihood of deception, and she's got more than double. So that's just the first couple of seconds there using the behavioral table of elements. Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, still not the highest score that we've ever had, though. Still not the highest score. Yeah, still not a winner in that department. Okay, 26 and birth certificates. Again, both of those upward inflections are way outside of the culture and the baseline. So there's some real issues with that. It's possible that she could have 2 birth certificates. She doesn't. But it is a possibility. I'm not saying it's not possible. There are possibilities whereby you can get yourself a couple of birth certificates. It's pretty hard to do, but you could do it. I don't think she does. I don't think she does at all. But she has downward intonation on the name changes 4 times. I think that has happened. I mean, in that she's called herself different things and she's been known by different names by different people. She can count 4 of those, and she's probably did a deed poll at some time and changed her name. That would be usual for somebody in her position. Her psychology would easily go about that. But right at the end, here's the really interesting thing. Narrowing of the eyes to target the interviewer. Chin jut exposes the neck and exposes the bottom teeth. She's now getting aggressive with her. She doesn't like this at all. She is right up against the wall, and now she has gone from flight to fight, and now she's coming in really hot. There is a lot of aggression inside her. I'm not sure how much longer this interview went on, but she's now starting to ramp up a little more alarmingly now. That's all I got on that one. I think we're all done, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're 23, right? Well, actually, how old are you?
I've always been raised.
This is what would happen to your body if you ate mood sleep gummies every day. Day 1, you take your first gummy.
As being currently a 26-year-old.
How old are you?
Well, I live knowing, as I've always known, that I would be 26.
Okay, Bill. This is a really, really simple question. How old are you?
I believe that I'm 26.
And?
I have two birth certificates, and I've had my name changed 4 times. The identity crisis there is big. But that was my normal when I was growing up, Tara. That
what do you know the truth to be now?
That's probably a question that we'll have to keep digging for, because it's not something I've ever understood or had answers around.
So when you needed to file some financial documents, how did you choose the birth date you gave, if you don't know?
With my most recent deed poll paper, which has the younger of the age and the most recent of the name.
Right. So currently, then, according to those documents, you're 23.
Correct.
What a great find, Greg. That was so good.
Yeah, no kidding. That's awesome. All right, Greg, what do you got?
I'll be real quick. Her respiration's up. She's fishing. She's trying to pay attention and see what this person wants. Watch that right brow. She's got some inconsistency in her face now, and she's got a request for approval as she's talking. And her jaw, her lower jaw, withdraws a little bit. I think she's kind of in a panic mode right now. Mark, I think you're right. She's hot. Yep. She wants to come out swinging, but she also she realizes she's standing in a house of cards, so she can't do a whole lot. Her hands are tied. Chase, what do you got?
So I'm just going to analyze what happened before she even started answering. So this is just during the interviewer's question at the very front of this clip that you're about to see again here in a second. So just before this little segment, there's a breathing location shift into the upper chest. There's a breathing rate increase. There's a blink rate increase to 50 plus. That scores an 11 on the behavioral table, and that's before she even starts to speak. So I think that's pretty impressive. Scott, what do you think?
Yeah, to say the least. All right. When she says, after the question, she says she chooses the younger of the age and the most recent name. She's completely separating herself from herself, from her identity. So I think we're dealing with some kind, again, I'm going back to the psychological thing. There's something wrong with this girl. Not that we didn't know that already, but I mean, it becomes obvious at this point. So that's where I'm going to sit with that, is because we're going to try to do one thing. That's all I went on. Then I was like, wow. So yeah, I'm going with, we're sitting on mental illness at this point. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, so I concur with you, like any good doctor would say, Greg, but a German one would say that in German. I'm not sure what concur is in German. But yeah, I would say, here we go, panic right there. Yeah, this is the one that I was saying, hey, if you go and look at the polo neck, okay, just copy that breathing rate. You'll see about 5 breaths up and down, but I just want you to copy that and see how you feel. Your feelings will change very, very quickly. Make sure you're not around any sharp objects, because you're going to fall over, because she's hyperventilating right now. She's gone into panic. Now, she's not going to fall over because her adrenaline is ramped up, which means her metabolism is right up. But if you sit there watching this and you breathe at that rate, you'll soon want to move towards, hitting your head at the side of a desk or something. So probably don't do it. Stay away from that. But yeah, she's in full panic now, I would say. Her back's right against the wall. She can't really fight this one out. So she's gone from flight to fight, and now she's heading towards faint, I would say. If her adrenaline drops, she would just go pallid and just probably stop talking. I don't think she gets there, though, in this. That's what I got. I think we're all done, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you needed to file some financial documents, how did you choose the birth date you gave, if you don't know?
With my most recent deed poll paper, which has the younger of the age and the most recent of the name.
Right. So
young forever.
Currently, then, according to those documents, you're 23.
Correct.
It would be funny if it wasn't so serious. And the really serious side to this is those who were caught out by Bell.
Trigger warning, especially for 10th man.
Dennis's ex-wife has a husband already? That's too bad.
The Schwartz family believed and befriended Bell. Sadly, their 7-year-old son Joshua does have terminal brain cancer. What type of an apology would you like to make to the Schwartz family?
Their family means a lot to me because of the care and the love and the friendship that we had grown over the last year.
They believe that you pumped them for information about their son's symptoms so you could take them on as your own.
That family was one that I did have little interaction with.
It's not how they describe it. They say they cried with you, you cried with them, your children played together.
I understand that they're hurting, but I also know that I never questioned Joshua or his mother about his symptoms.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah. Well, look, great question. What type of apology would you like to make? And what's great about this is, I think as Chase, you would say, she gives her the opportunity of crossing a bridge to that apology, which is a great offer for the interviewer to go, here's an opportunity. What type of apology? You're going to apologize. Just, we're looking at what style it's going to be with. She is not going to do it. She can't do it. She's so attached to this idea that she's not going to even cross that bridge. There's no apology whatsoever. It's really tricky because, is this a personality that is looking for attention and sympathy by becoming the victim, which would be, one way of diagnosing this, or is it a straight up fraudster, somebody who is doing what is socially wrong. It's an antisocial behavior that's going on here. Conning people and families who really do have stage 4 loved ones in stage 4 cancer. That would be another kind of diagnosis of this. I don't really know which one it is, because in both of those states, the person might want to hang on and hang on and hang on to this idea. She's just not going to apologize, which again is strange for us, because we'd probably just go, okay, the game's up. I'm really sorry. I made a terrible mistake. I was in so deep that I couldn't come back from it. I'd want to apologize to everybody out there. That's probably what you and I might do. She's not going there. She's never going to go there. Scott, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, this is where I turned on her. This is beyond rude and beyond anything else. When you go fishing for a child's symptoms so you can use them for yourself, that's that psychopaths do. Now, at this point, I'm not sure anybody's even in there. How can you do that? Go to somebody whose child is dying, the little child is dying of brain cancer, and start fishing for information from that child for yourself to profit from that. Yeah, and there's something wrong with this woman. I'm going to be quiet at this point.
Giving me grift ideas.
So, Greg, what do you got?
Oh yeah, what kind of grift ideas?
My cats are all very sick and dying. Also, my neighbor is also very sick and dying, and I'm the only person that can save them. Please give me money so I can save these poor dying kitties. They're also, and I'm very poor, so I can't save them on my own. Thank you for giving me $750 trillion towards my world domination fund. Fuck, love, gimme diamonds.
Don't forget to write a book about it.
For fun.
The most interesting of all the body language in this segment is when she eye blocks and drops her chin, pulls her chin back in acceptance of the fact these people are irritated with her, regardless of why she did it, whether it's, hey, I expected that, or whether it's, yeah, I really screwed up on that one, or whatever it is acceptance. I'm done with it right there. I'll leave that for Chase.
Right. I think there's a piece of this that's probably truthful, where she says, I didn't talk to the mom or Joshua about this. I bet she probably just talked to the dad, because she specifically leaves him out of the denial. And there's eye closure here. Greg, you were talking about one case. There's another thing you're going to see right when this clip comes back up. You're going to see more eye closure when the interviewer is saying, pumped them for information, which we talked about in the first video. This could indicate regret or shame or guilt, like somebody not wanting to hear something or whatever topic is being brought up. That's all I got.
It would be funny if it wasn't so serious. And the really serious side to this is those who were caught out by Bell. The Schwartz family believed and befriended Bell. Sadly, their 7-year-old son Joshua does have terminal brain cancer. What type of an apology would you like to make to the Schwartz family?
Their family means a lot to me because of the care and the love and the friendship that we had grown over the last year.
They believe that you pumped them for information about their son's symptoms so you could take them on as your own.
That family was one that I did have little interaction with.
That's not how they describe it. They say they cried with you, you cried with them, your children played together.
I understand that they're hurting, but I also know that I never...
And also I'm pregnant.
...questioned Joshua or his mother about his symptoms.
And I got abducted by aliens and anally probed.
Oh, wait. Let's go around the room one time. And see
Probably she didn't blame the man,
yeah. Right. So
the father figure,
Chase, Greg, then I'll wrap
her
it up.
supposed
No, it was a real alien that did it.
Yeah, I think the most fascinating thing here is just how she holds on to this idea. We don't normally see that. Normally
consented.
somebody would crumble at this point, she's hanging on and hanging on and hanging on. So it is quite extraordinary. I'll leave you to decide why you think that's the case. Hopefully we've laid down some ideas around that, but you be the decision maker on that. Chase, what do you think?
So I had some squirrels out in our backyard, and I got a squirrel-proof bird feeder, and they figured it out. But they didn't figure it out as a group. One squirrel figured it out, and then all the other squirrels came. So when a creature, like Greg was saying earlier, when the organism discovers something that works, it's going to continue doing it. When a creature discovers a way to access more resources, the behavior will spread as more creatures become aware of it. And I think habitual false victim signalers like Jussie Smollett, we just did an episode on him, they deplete these available resources for genuine victims. And they dupe these trusting people into misallocating those resources. And they can initiate this dysfunctional cycle of what the academic research calls, and I think it's a badass word for it, competitive victimhood within society. So becoming a victim gives you access to resources. Think of the Maslow's pyramid of needs, hierarchy of needs. That's our big resources. Like, I'm going to get money. I'm going to get recognition. I'm going to get social. This is the pyramid. The Maslow's pyramid comes from being a victim. So it's getting access to resources. Just like the squirrel, we're seeing an increase in this in our society as a whole. And these people, and they're depleting the resources for everybody else. It pisses me off. I'm sorry to go too long. Greg, what do you got?
Yeah. So what starts off as a story about a traveling cancer salesman or whatever the hell this guy was turns into just lie after lie after lie. The interesting piece for me here is this is what happens when you get a person who's good at conning but can't because all the cards are stacked. You're looking at all their cards and saying, look, here, I know what hand you have, and I'm going to tell you everything you did. When that happens, we see the Jodi Arias effect. Rigid, waiting, trying to get an opportunity, trying to plug in that little piece of information you need. That, guys, this did not happen. She did not get all of that money and all that wealth and all that stuff she was having before because she did anything different than she's doing here. She just doesn't have the capability here to play the cards the way she wants to. I guarantee you that every person she dealt with got the same kind of treatment she got from this person. She was just more polished and more fluid. That's exactly the kind of person that cons people. That's how this kind of thing works. And is that a mental illness? Sure, maybe. But it's certainly a predatory behavior. And this is predatory behavior that led her to this point, and this is where she's at. Got no sympathy, no compassion for that. And so the victimhood is that other people are being victimized, to your point, Chase, by taking resources that could have gone other ways. Scott, what do you got?
All right. Yeah. The thing I liked about this is we get to see somebody go from trying to answer these questions and really, I think, leaning into it and going, yeah, I might get away with this. And then slowly seeing this thing turn into a psychological situation where we see this person is absolutely nuts at the end of this thing. There's something really wrong with them. I don't want to say absolutely nuts, but there's something wrong with her. And I think it shows up there in the last 2 or 3 questions at the end there. So that's the fascinating part that I found in this, and you guys nailed everything else. So if you like what we're doing, please subscribe. Just click that little thing down there and hit the bell so you know when we have a new one come out. All right, we good?
Yeah, all good.
All right. See you guys next time.
Deal.
Yeah, that's pathological. That's a mental instability in the pathways of the brain.
Hi, I'm Brett.
And I'm Jonathan.
This is Darla.
And this is Buddy.
We're the founders of the Farmer's Dog.
We've made an entirely new way to feed your dog.
It all started
Are you there,
with the first
Ben?
dog, Jada. I got Jada in my early 20s. It was just love at first sight. She was the most adorable, smart dog, but her stomach was just constantly a problem. Nothing seemed to help her until a vet recommended that I started home cooking for her.
All of her issues went away. Her life changed. So Brett started going down this journey of looking into what is dog food? How is it made?
Kibble can be made with ingredients that would be illegal to sell to a human for consumption, then turned into a powder using extreme heat, extruded into the brown balls we all know, and then sprayed with nutrients and palatants so the dogs will actually eat it.
We were told kibble was the best thing you could feed your dog.
Premium meat for a natural diet.
Turns out it wasn't. We were told all the food was real meat and vegetables. That's also not true.
I think we all know as human beings that eating highly processed food every single meal, every single day of our lives is not ideal for our health. But pet food being highly processed was just the status quo.
So we decided, let's change it. Let's take the decades of pet food research and the understanding of what nutrients dogs need, use that, but avoid the excess processing. I think the question was, how do we make food that's fresh, healthy, and convenient, but do
Beth,
it for
are you
every
there?
dog across the country? That was like a tough challenge. So we thought we really need to get somebody who knows dog nutrition.
We had watched a seminar with Dr. Wachschlag and
Beth.
Jonathan. I was like, we need to get a guy.
Hang on.
I was like, okay.
Okay, there you are.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I was getting worried.
Ouch.
When you yelled, I had fallen asleep.
Oh, so I woke you up.
Not because I'm bored. I'm not really feeling very well. I went to lay in bed.
Y'all
So I
been
could prop
up
my
for
neck
a
on
while.
pillows.
That shit's over, huh?
I have 3 cats laying on me. Did you fall asleep too, Beth?
A tiny bit. Which means it's definitely nighttime.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice seeing everybody.
Be blessed. Thanks for having me up.
See you, Mike.
Thanks for hanging out.
So earlier, Tim, since I didn't get to tell
Mike
you,
fell asleep too. Yes.
kind of dipped out to go to over here to Beth. I was having stuff,
Everybody's
so.
going to
Don't
bed.
worry about that. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna lay in bed and watch a movie, Mike.
What?
I'm gonna lay in bed and watch something on TV.
Yeah, I'm
What
gonna
are
go
you
get
doing?
some rest and hopefully make it to Sarah's tonight.
Yeah, I might do.
Sounds
good.
like winner chicken dinner.
Yup. All right, guys. I'll catch you all
All right.
later. I'm killing it.
Nice seeing everybody.
All right.
Thanks
Later,
for
guys.
hanging out, everybody.
Yes. Later.